So as you've probably heard, there's going to be a wipe and escape from Tarkov sometime around this week from the 28th of June. Everyone's getting excited about the prospect of starting again, but no one really asks themselves how they're going to start. This is where I'm going to help. All the tips in this video are things that I will personally be doing to make my wipe life a lot easier. In fact, I think you'll be surprised by the last tip. You can catch the start of my Tarkov wipe over on twitch.tv/Hayz. If you want to give that a follow, it's in the description below, and I'd love to see you there. So this first tip is something that I haven't really started doing until now. That is selling hideout items and not using them. Hideout items are usually quite expensive in the flea market at the start of the wipe for like the first month or so. So like nuts and bolts would be like 100k, hoses would be like 200k, car batteries more than 300k. It's insane. So I'd say, honestly, just sell the expensive items you find when you hit level 10 in the flea market. You can buy these items back at any point later on when they're cheaper, and use those to build your hideout for much cheaper, load cheaper later in the wipe cycle. Doing it this way will save you millions for buying gear and stuff you need to complete quests. This will also help you save even more money when you're leveling traders because you won't need to buy from the flea market at all. Tip number 2 is quite similar to the first one in that it's about money. This tip is to use money that you save from selling the items in the flea market and the first tip and buying items that will be expensive later. So that is phased array elements, sugar, water filters, paracord for the sick case trade, and graphics cards. There's probably quite a few more that I haven't listed, but those are just an example of a few. Nobody needs these items in the first month of the wipe, and it'll be really cheap. I've seen graphics cards for 100k or less. Now, one thing to note here, graphics cards might be a big one. Now, BSG did hint at a message from Mechanic in the pre-wipe events we had before this wipe at a change of what crypto would be mined with the Bitcoin farms in your hideout. And that crypto is called Tarbank coin. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to be in the game, but from what we've seen, there's probably an idea that they will change from Bitcoin to Tarbank coin so they can control it more. So I imagine we might see this change during this wipe, and you might see GPUs get a lot more popular, a lot more expensive, because they might want to try and get these Tarbank coins going. So moving on to the next sort of section of this guide, we have the weapons and the ammo to use. Now this can be quite confusing for some to sort of know what weapons to use at the start, what ammo to use at the start, and if you're not sure what will be available, what is cheap and also effective, then it can be confusing, obviously. So one thing I'd say is before you start buying these guns and ammo that I recommend, be sure to use the starting gear that you have already when you start your account. Once those are gone, these are the guns and ammo that I'll be using. So what I'll do is I'll buy an SKS with 7.62x39 PS ammo. These can be accessed at level 1 Prapple straight away. As you get into the game, they're there. PS ammo goes straight through level 3 armor and face shields. So if you see any sort of chads with some sort of an airframe or a fast MT or an exfil, the bullets go straight through the face shield. If you see any players with level 3 armor, that's quite common during the sort of the first week or two of the wipe, level 3 armor, that goes straight through that as well. And also even the helmets. You see a lot of players wearing the penis helmet, the peen helmet, whatever you want to call it, that'll go straight through the helmet as well. Now, an SKS and a full stack of 60 rounds will cost you about 27,000 rubles, give or take. What you can do actually as well with the SKS is you can take off the rear sight to better see your front sight and your target without sacrificing too much accuracy. So you've played your first day or two of the wipe, you're at level 10. This means you can get level 2 Peacekeeper. What you want to do here is you want to buy an RFB 7.62x51 with the M80 rounds. Now, some people might say, oh, you know, the Hunter's the best weapon. It's the best budget weapon. They're wrong. And here's why. You can only get the Hunter at level 2 Jaeger at level 15 PMC level. And with that, you can only get 5-round magazines. 5. And a decent setup, including a mount and a hollow sight, will cost around 80,000 rubles. And the stats are terrible. Ergo is 47. And recoil is 244. Now, in comparison, the RFB has 20-round mags available straight away on level 2 Peacekeeper and has the same ammo as the Hunter. The total cost of an RFB like this, you see, is 90,000 rubles, and the stats are so much better. 52 ergo and 157 recoil. And with this, the RFB will get you through a lot of levels, so at which point you'll have a lot more weapons and attachments available to you from traders. You'll be level 3, level whatever traders, so then just go crazy, really. There's no real weapons you should use, just kind of go with it, you know. All right, so on to the next section. This is movement and playstyle. Now, this one is the one you might find surprising, and I'll tell you why. So if you're an experienced player like myself, you'll probably be quite confident when coming to starting over again. You think you've got it all figured out, and you know what you're doing, don't let this get ahead of you. Don't let it punish you for being overconfident. I had this issue during this wipe. I was going straight for quests. I wasn't bothering with any looting. I was running straight for quests, trying to sort of rush to Kappa. And I found out that I was kind of slower than most people at doing my quests and leveling, because I was dying a lot due to meeting other players on the other side of the map. We're all sort of going to, say, dorms or the golden pocket watch, and we're all meeting around construction area and customs. And this is what I'm saying here, is to slow it down. Take it slow. Use the whole raid timer and loot as much as you can. Stop sprinting. That's also one thing as well. Stop sprinting. You're not level 60 plus, Chad. This is level 1, level 10, whatever. Take it easy, okay? When you spawn in, sort of chill out for a bit. Realize where you are. Go and loot some stuff, loot some stashes, learn the stashes. There's tons of guys on YouTube for stashes on customs or whatever map you're on. I've got a stash guide on Shoreline that should be up in the corner just here. Just loot around, loot some things, and then go ahead and move into sort of the center of the map without sprinting. The whole idea behind this is to do your quests that might be in highly traveled areas later on in the raid. Say example, you're looting for, say, like 20-30 minutes, and then the last sort of 15 minutes of the raid, you go and do your quest. You go and grab that pocket watch because no one's there. Most people have extracted, died, or whatever. So there's a much lower chance of you getting caught off guard or caught by another PMC or maybe scav players, but it's better to fight a scav player than a PMC, in my opinion. Most of the players will have questing on their mind. They'll be thinking quest. They're trying to sort of rush to Kappa or rush to get the high-level traders to be ahead of everyone else, to sort of have their better ammo, their better guns, attachments, all that stuff. And honestly, they'll fail more times than anyone else taking it slower. As I said previously, I was being super slow even though I was trying to be fast. It just didn't work. I was failing a lot more. And also, what you might find doing this is that if you play it slower off the spawn, you might find yourself killing more players. This is because you're coming behind players that have moved in before you. If you spawn on the outer edge of the map, you come in behind players that rush towards their quests, and they'll be fighting players from the other side of the map too. So you got the players that'll spawn sort of center side map that'll move into sort of the quest areas and stuff, and they'll fight. You come in behind those guys because you're taking it slower. You're taking your time. You're coming behind those guys, and you can third party that fight really easily. And you might find yourself getting a lot more kills a lot more often and surviving more. Okay, so that was a lot of information, I know, but feel free to go back through the chapters and revisit them if you'd like. As always, let me know if this is helpful. Leave a comment down below saying what your plans are for the wipe and what you think you'll do. And don't forget to follow my Twitch stream, which is in the description below. I'm streaming most days apart from Sunday from 10 AM BST, and I will be streaming the start of my wipe whenever the wipe is. Either way, I wish you all the best in your next raids, and I'll see you in the next video.